In a world where modern families depend on disability insurance replacing 60% of income when fathers cannot work, Amish families survive 30 to 90 days without father's income through church aid funds, providing $2,000 to $4,000 monthly, community labor, maintaining farm operations, and extended family contributions, creating safety net that works without insurance companies. Why fathers stop working. Farm accidents create the most common work interruptions. Machinery injuries, falls from barns or ladders, and broken bones from livestock handling. Serious illnesses like pneumonia requiring hospitalization, appendicitis needing emergency surgery, or chronic back injuries from heavy labor also force work stoppage. Hospital stays typically last 3 to 14 days for serious conditions, followed by recovery periods of 2 to 8 weeks before returning to full work capacity. Without disability insurance rejected on religious principles and no paid sick leave because most Amish are self-employed farmers or tradesmen, income stops immediately when work stops, creating immediate financial crisis for families. Immediate family impact. The father's work generates $40,000 to $80,000 annual family income, approximately $3,300 to $6,700 monthly needed for expenses including food, medical bills, farm operating costs, and household necessities. The typical family maintains $5,000 to $15,000 in emergency savings, covering 1 to 3 months of expenses maximum. The wife cannot replace the father's income because her domestic responsibilities, including managing household, caring for 8 to 10 children, cooking, cleaning, and supporting farm operations, are full-time work generating no cash income. Teenage sons help but earn only fraction of father's income through occasional hired work. The family faces depleted savings, mounting bills, and uncertain recovery timeline, creating stress despite strong faith. Church aid fund. Church leaders are notified immediately when a father suffers injury or illness preventing work. The aid fund assessment determines how much the family needs monthly to maintain basic expenses while the father recovers. Typical assistance provides $2,000 to $4,000 monthly from the church aid fund, covering 60 to 80% of the family's normal expenses. Payments begin within 1 to 2 weeks of the injury, providing rapid financial stabilization. The fund source is mandatory monthly contributions of $20 to $50 from every family in the church district, creating collective funds totaling $5,000 to $15,000 monthly. Multiple families can receive assistance simultaneously, distributing support across genuine needs as they arise throughout the year. Community labor. If the injured father is a farmer, neighbors immediately take over essential farm work, ensuring livestock care and crop management continue without interruption. 10 to 15 men rotate through daily chores, including feeding animals, milking cows, and maintaining equipment. During critical planting or harvest seasons, 30 to 50 workers appear to complete time-sensitive work that cannot be delayed without devastating financial consequences. Farm operations continue seamlessly with livestock fed properly, crops planted on schedule, and harvests completed at optimal times. If the father is a carpenter or tradesman, other skilled workers fulfill his work obligations, notifying customers about delays while ensuring commitments are eventually met, protecting his business reputation. Community members contribute directly to the family, replacing lost income through the reciprocal labor system that will be returned when others face similar crises. Family support. Parents from both the father's side and wife's side provide substantial financial support based on their means, typically contributing $500 to $2,000 during the crisis period. Siblings contribute $200 to $500 each, and with families having 6 to 8 siblings on each side, this creates substantial additional resources. In-laws treat their son-in-law as their own son, providing support, protecting their daughter and grandchildren from financial hardship. Grandparents contribute from retirement savings if they are able, and even great-grandparents might provide modest amounts, showing multi-generational family commitment. Extended family provides 20 to 40% of monthly needs through these contributions, which are gifts without repayment expectations. Family gatherings become informal fundraising opportunities where relatives discreetly contribute additional amounts. The wife's family is especially active because they view supporting the father as protecting their daughter's household security and their grandchildren's well being. Meal provision community women organize systematic meal delivery schedules within days of the father's injury, providing 4 to 6 complete meals weekly delivered to the recovering family. Each meal is substantial: roasted chicken, casseroles, mashed potatoes, vegetables, homemade bread, and desserts, feeding the entire household of 8 to 10 people. The deliveries include brief visits where women check on family needs, offer practical help, and provide encouragement through conversation and prayer. This meal support continues 4 to 8 weeks until the father returns to work, eliminating the grocery shopping and cooking burden during the crisis period while saving $300 to $600 monthly in food costs. The wife can focus entirely on caring for her injured husband and managing the household rather than meal planning and preparation during an already stressful time. Children are fed nutritious, substantial meals, maintaining their health and energy despite the family crisis. The daily social contact prevents isolation that injured families often experience, providing emotional support beyond the practical food provision. Women delivering meals often offer additional help, including laundry service, house cleaning, or childcare, allowing the wife to attend medical appointments with her husband or simply rest during the exhausting crisis period. Hospital bills for surgery and recovery typically total $30,000 to $100,000, creating potentially devastating financial burden for families without insurance. The Church Aid Fund covers 50 to 80% of medical expenses after cash payment negotiations reduce bills by 30 to 50% through the discount hospitals provide for immediate payment without insurance billing overhead. The effective medical cost after discount reaches $15,000 to $50,000, with Church Aid paying $10,000 to $40,000 of the discounted amount. The family's responsibility from savings is $5,000 to $10,000, with hospitals accepting payment plans of $200 to $500 monthly for any remaining balance. When costs exceed available church aid and family savings, benefit auctions are organized, raising $10,000 to $30,000 for major medical emergencies. The community's perfect payment record, no defaults, no bankruptcies across generations, creates hospital willingness to extend flexible payment terms. Long-term payment schedules spanning 1 to 2 years allow families to clear remaining balances without financial collapse. Ensuring medical debt never creates permanent financial ruin despite the lack of commercial health insurance. Children's contribution, teenage sons between ages 14 and 18, dramatically increase work hours when fathers cannot work, taking over all farm chores, including animal feeding, milking, equipment operation, and facility maintenance. They hire themselves out to neighboring farms, earning $80 to $120 weekly, contributing this income directly to family expenses. Daughters ages 12 to 16 assume substantial household management responsibilities, including caring for younger siblings, cooking all meals, managing laundry, and maintaining the house, freeing their mother to focus entirely on nursing the injured father and managing the crisis logistics. Younger children ages 6 to 11 take on age-appropriate tasks, with everyone contributing to family crisis response as cultural expectation rather than burden. School attendance may be reduced temporarily during the most critical weeks, though this creates no legal issues because religious exemptions protect Amish educational practices. The work experience develops a strong work ethic and teaches children how community support systems function, preparing them to participate in mutual aid as adults. Children feel pride in meaningful contribution rather than helplessness during family crises, building confidence and resilience through practical responsibility. Financial recovery timeline. During weeks 1 and 2, the family rapidly spends emergency savings while waiting for church aid to begin flowing, creating the most financially stressful period. The psychological burden is heaviest During these first 2 weeks, when the father lies injured, medical bills arrive daily, and the family watches their savings account drain with no clear timeline for recovery or return to income. The wife manages household stress while nursing her husband, explaining the situation to worried children, and making difficult decisions about which bills to pay first. Weeks 3 and 4 see church aid payments stabilizing basic expenses, while community labor maintains farm or business operations, preventing total income collapse. The arrival of the first church aid check provides enormous psychological relief beyond its financial value, confirming that the community will not allow the family to fail. Weeks 5 through 8 bring father's gradual return to light work, providing partial income as recovery progresses, reducing but not eliminating the need for outside support. The father might manage 2 to 4 hours of light work daily, earning perhaps 20 to 40% of normal income while building strength and stamina for full return. Weeks 9 through 12 see the father returning to full work capacity and normal income generation, allowing the family to resume self sufficiency. The transition from supported to self sufficient happens gradually as church aid payments taper while earned income increases, ensuring no sudden financial shock at the end of support period. The debt accumulated during the 30 to 90-day crisis typically totals $3,000 to $8,000 owed to church aid fund, extended family, or medical providers. Debt clearance takes 6 to 18 months through monthly repayments of $200 to $500 as finances normalize. The family prioritizes debt repayment over rebuilding savings, clearing obligations to community and family before resuming emergency fund accumulation. Savings depletion requires 1 to 3 years of disciplined saving to rebuild emergency funds to pre-crisis levels, with families typically saving 10 to 20% of income specifically for this purpose once debt is cleared. The long-term financial impact remains minimal, with families returning to normal economic stability within 2 years, dramatically better outcomes than modern families facing bankruptcy despite having commercial disability insurance that replaces only 60% of income and often includes waiting periods of 7 to 14 days before payments begin, creating the initial crisis period that Amish church aid eliminates through immediate support. Reciprocal obligation. The family receiving community support during crisis understands they are expected to help others facing similar situations in the future, creating the reciprocal obligation that makes the mutual aid system sustainable across generations. This is not legal debt requiring repayment, but cultural expectation that receiving help creates responsibility to give help when able. The obligation is taken seriously because the family experienced firsthand the relief that community support provides during desperate circumstances, creating genuine desire to offer the same help to others rather than merely fulfilling duty. When the father returns to health, he immediately joins the rotation of men helping other injured or ill farmers, contributing labor freely to maintain others' operations during their crises. He understands intimately what the injured farmer is experiencing: the frustration of watching work undone, the anxiety about income loss, the fear about farm survival, making his help particularly compassionate and thorough. The recovered father often contributes more hours than strictly required, remembering the generosity others showed his family and wanting to pay forward that kindness. Financial contributions to the church aid fund resume immediately upon return to work, with families sometimes contributing extra amounts beyond the required $20 to $50 monthly when financially able, helping replenish funds used during their own crisis. Some families commit to contributing double or triple the normal amount for 6 to 12 months after their crisis, consciously replenishing what they withdrew even though no one requires this. The act of replenishing creates psychological closure, allowing the family to feel they've fully reciprocated the help received rather than remaining indefinitely indebted. Children learn through direct experience that receiving help creates responsibility to give help, ensuring generational continuation of mutual aid values and practices. The teenage son who worked extra hours earning money for family expenses during his father's injury remembers this experience when he's an adult and another family faces similar crisis, making him more willing to hire out his own teenage sons to help or to contribute financially from his household budget. The daughter who managed household responsibilities during crisis develops empathy for mothers facing similar situations, making her eager to deliver meals or provide childcare help when she's an adult and other families need support. The community informally monitors the balance between contribution and receipt. Families repeatedly requesting aid without contributing when able face social pressure and quiet discussions with church leadership about participation expectations. The monitoring isn't punitive, but corrective, ensuring that the system doesn't develop freeloaders who take advantage of community generosity without reciprocating. The rare family that requests frequent aid while avoiding